I'm joined with Adam Saxton. He's a senior content developer with the Power BI documentation team here at Microsoft. And so Adam is actually better known as Guy in a Cube. And so Adam, the students have just covered the lesson on configuring permissions. So they've been introduced to the roles and the rules and the DAX filters, be them static, dynamic, in order to ensure row-level security, that the right people see the right data. Now I'm interested to know more about how this model can work in a presentation layer like Power BI.
Awesome. Let me show you the magic of how this happens. So let's start. We've got Power BI. We'll say Power BI. We've got analysis services. And the way that we get this to connect is something called the on-premises data gateway. And so you'll install that on a machine somewhere. We'll just put a G there for the gateway. And when you've installed the gateway, you go into Power BI, you're going to configure a data source for the gateway. The data source is basically a connection string or a pointer to your server. So you're going to give it the analysis services server name and the database name. You're going to give it an account. This account has to be a server admin on the instance of analysis services. So I'm going to be the server admin. So I'm going to actually put in at Cube. So this is the account I'm plugging into the data source in Power BI. And then Peter's going to log in here. Peter at awesomemvp.com.
That sounds right.
So that's you, right? That is you. And Peter's going to log in. And what's going to happen is that we're going to pass Peter to the gateway. My login is actually the one that logs in initially to analysis services. And then we stuff Peter's email address into a property called effective username. At this point, it will impersonate Peter against analysis services. So whenever queries are issued from Power BI through the gateway to analysis services, it's going to act as if it's Peter executing those queries. And so all of your security is going to be in place. If you've set up row-level security, you're doing it.
So I've authenticated up here in the cloud with Power BI, and my identity flows down to the gateway, switches over to you, but says, but I'm really Peter.
I'm Peter.
Is that how it works?
Yes. So it's Adam that's running the data source, but I'm saying I'm going to act on Peter's behalf through effective username. And when I issue queries, analysis service is going to know I need to run the data as if I'm Peter.
Awesome. So at this level, there is no data security being enforced. It's all down here.
It's analysis services that's only feeding that data back to Power BI.
So the roles you define, and this is what I like about a model, is it centralizes logic, but also security logic. So it's defined once, and it just flows through the system.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about data security. So is the data visible to anybody catching any packets of communication?
No. So anything that's over the wire between the gateway and Power BI, this is all SSL encrypted. So you're going to be encrypted over the internet. When you go to our data centers, it's always encrypted whenever that communication happens.
And any data being stored up at this level, or is it always querying down to here?
The actual data used from the queries that we get are not cached. So your data resides in analysis services. It will flow up here when we manifest the report, but we don't store it anywhere. The exception to this is if you have a tile on a dashboard, we will cache summarized data to regenerate that tile image. But that's the only thing that's cached. And that's available in the Power BI security white paper that you can find on powerbi.com.
Awesome. Well, Adam, thanks very much for sharing this scenario with us. It just reinforces the theory we've covered as to define our rules and our filters, enforce it at this level, and then allow it to play through to the presentation layer. Adam, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.